Alright, so I have pre-made about a little over a minute video that we're going to chop up a little bit in Camtasia. Camtasia is video editing software. We're not going to go anywhere near talking about all the functions that it will do, but we're going to show you a few. Some basic stuff like how to chop off an awkward beginning, middle, or end, how to improve the audio quality a bit, some things like that. But just show you the basics so you can kind of get in, make a few basic changes, and then save it. So my first step is import media. Remember what we said, you've got to get your video that you shot from your camera, from your video camera, from your iPad, from your phone, wherever you got it, you have to get it into the computer. So let's click on import media, and I happen to know that mine is in downloads, and so I'm going to import my sample video. By the way, if you know in advance that you're going to use certain pictures or sound effects or songs or anything like that, I know that I'm going to use that and that. You can import those now. You don't have to. You can go in and do them later, but if you know you're going to use it, you can have those ready to go. All right. Right now you see it says track 1. The best analogy of this that most people understand pretty easily is think of a band in the studio. So track 1 is the guitars, track 2 is the drums, track 3 is the vocals, and we can add keyboards and backing vocals and bass guitar, and anything we want to add. You have all these different tracks and they're all independent of each other, and then when we're done, so long as they're timed right, we combine it into our wonderful song. Okay, so I've got track 1. I'm going to keep it simple. I could have multiple tracks, one for video, one for audio, one for pictures, one for effects, but I'm just going to use 2. So I'm going to take this sample video and drop it on track 1. Okay, and you'll notice I kind of missed a bit. That's real common. It's very simple. You just simply move it over a bit, and now my video is starting at 0. Okay, and notice I have my timeline across the top right here. I actually want to zoom in a bit. There we go. I'm just going to go one click. I like to have about 30 or 40 seconds on my timeline, so I like this setting right here. All right, so as we can see, it's going to be messed up right from the start because it's going to be a picture of me turning the video on, so I'm not going to want that. So let's watch the beginning of it.
Hi everyone. Nope, too deep. Try it again. Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about...
Okay, so that's incredibly common on videos. You, A, have the beginning you don't want, and you messed up right from the start and you said, you know what, let's just start over again. A couple of things. Notice down here we have this nice trough. Okay, you can look at the audio and it's very obvious, here nothing is happening. When we get to here, I'm starting to talk, and then you can see I messed up. When you mess up, it's really important. You don't have to freak out. You don't have to start over. If you're messing up and you say, the Civil War started in 1862. Oh, wait, that's wrong. Pause, leave a gap there. So, the Civil War started in 1862. Oops, nope, that's not right. The Civil War started in 1861. When you have that gap there, that allows you to very easily see that trough and realize, here's where my mistake is and here's where I want to fix it. So I'm going to get right to where I want to be. So I'm going to I can move this timeline back and forth and hit play. And I want to stop right before, in fact that's probably a tiny bit too close, I'm going to move it back a touch, right there, and then I just click on this green knob and drag it all the way to the beginning, and that's going to eliminate me starting the video and my mess up at the beginning. Once we select it, you can't get easier than this, just simply click on the scissors and it's all gone. So now that entire first 15 seconds is gone. Notice when I hit play.
Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about resumes.
So there we are, we're right where we want to be. So that's how you edit something out.
And we're going to talk about a hidden key.
Okay, hidden key. Aha, bad pun alert. So I'm going to again kind of find the right spot.
Talk about a hidden key.
Oh, missed it. Go back a bit, and this is common. You kind of dial it in. You don't have to get it precise.
Resumes. And we're going to
and okay, so I'm going to click on this key and drop it into track 2. And I can just drag it over. I'm going to put it right there. And you'll notice my key is a little bit small. I actually want this to take up the whole screen, so just like resizing a photo, it's the exact same thing. There we go. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. We'll play it again.
Resumes, and we're going to talk about a hidden key to how your resume can be more effective.
Okay, so I want the key to stop showing there. So again, like a photo, I just resize it to right there. And now I'm good to go. Let's try it one more time. Play it through.
Resumes, and we're going to talk about a hidden key to how your resume can be more effective. Quick question before we start.
There we go.
How long does the average resume reader take before they decide whether or not they like your resume? Now let's phrase that differently. How long does the average resume reader take before they form an initial impression of your resume?
So again, we made a mistake. Not a problem at all. Let's go back. It was right after quick question.
Resume reader take before...
And I missed it. So you just go back until you find it.
Before we start. How long does...
And that's where we want. So I'm going to move it to here.
Before we start.
And again, we can see that trough. That's right where I paused after I said question. And I can go all the way to here. And if I'm not certain if I got it right or not, no problem. I hit play.
How long does the average resume reader take before they decide whether or not they like your resume? Now let's phrase that differently.
Yep, that's exactly what I wanted to cut out. So again, I click on the cut button. Now, if you're going to go over this with a fine-tooth comb, you are going to hear a little bit of a glitch there, but most students aren't going to hear that, and they're not going to care. They're going to understand that you're editing this to actually make it better for them.
Before we start, how long does the average resume reader take before they form an initial impression of your resume? Give up? About 6 seconds.
And again, I said 6 seconds, so I already know where that is. I can see by the trough right there is where it said 6 seconds. So I'm going to drop that right to where it begins. And again, resize it.
About 6 seconds. So believe it or not, when someone picks your resume up, especially if it's out of a pile, it takes about 6 seconds before they decide whether they like you or not.
And that's where I want my 6 seconds to go away. So again, like photo resizing, I drag it to here. Let's check it real quick.
Give up? About 6 seconds. So believe it or not, when someone picks your resume up, especially if it's out of a pile, it takes about 6 seconds before they decide whether they like you or not. Okay? And a key part of that, quite honestly, is how your resume looks. So having your resume look attractive, and I don't mean cute, but having it look attractive, laid out, white space, professional font, easily organized so that they can find the information they're looking for. A basic concept like that can actually give you a huge leg up on your competition.
Okay, and again, I do not want a picture of me walking to there, so I can very easily see exactly when I stop talking. I select all that in blue and click on cut. And I'm finished. Okay, so I now have a finished product. I have edits. I chop stuff out. Now, one thing I notice is I don't like the sound. There's a little bit of background noise. So there's a few things I can do about that. So I click on this audio tab. And I make sure that my video track is selected. So again, I selected on it. Let's listen to it real quick.
Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about resume.
So here's some noise in the background. I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to enable noise removal, which gets rid of some of that background noise, and I'm going to make it 10%, 20% louder. Okay, now I'm not going to click on this, but for those of you who might work in a shop or work with tools, if something gets really loud, like you drop something, you can do enable volume leveling, and that will kind of level it so you don't get the really soft and really loud variety there. Okay, so let's click on it and see how it sounds now.
Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about resumes, and we're going to talk about it.
So hopefully to you that sounds a lot better. It certainly does to me. We got rid of that background noise, and we boosted my voice by about 20%, so it sounds a lot better. So we are done. We've got it. We've got our project. We've made our edits. We've now improved the audio. We've put pictures in it, but we don't actually have a video yet. So our last step here is produce and share. We're going to click on that, and we have a lot of options. And I actually go full as high a quality as I can. Realize this is much higher quality. A lot more pixels, a lot larger video. It also takes up more space. So space is an issue. You might want to knock it down to 480 or 720. But I'm going to click on 1080, and then I'm going to click on Next. I'm going to give it a name. In this case, my name was Resume Appearance. And I click on Finish. Okay. Now, one of the things you'll notice, this is going kind of fast, although it's still going to take a while. This is for a 48-second video, and it's still going to take at least a little bit of time. If you're trying to do this to a half-hour video, a 15-minute video, a 1-hour video, you absolutely want to go to lunch. You know, you might want to go to lunch and coffee and take a restroom break, okay? It's going to take a while. Some of the stuff that I've done, especially if I do it 1080 and I've got lots of stuff going on, you know, lots of edits, lots of pictures added in, it might take half an hour to an hour to render at that point in time, okay? Okay, and so we're finished. We're going to click on Finish. And it is now saved our video for us. Now the last thing to talk about, and we're not actually going to do it here, but the last thing is, don't forget, you're probably going to want to upload it to YouTube or SafeShare. We actually have a video where we talked about that, so if you haven't seen it yet, go back to Module 2 in the supplemental videos, and that entire process, there's a video discussing that. Okay, so that gets you started on working within Camtasia.